Hello, this is video number 2 about the t-distribution. So this video has 2 goals. One is just chat a little bit about the distribution, a couple things I think they missed in the other video. And then the second goal is to just go over the homework a little bit and take a quick look at some of the notation and things that might trip you up. So first thing, I think to understand that the t-distribution is a family of distributions. It should look like this. So you see how, like, when n, your degrees of freedom, is small, your t-distribution is really fat on the ends, right? The blue line represents the normal distribution. When t gets closer to 30, you're here. So each time your degrees of freedom changes, your t-distribution changes slightly. And I don't think the video is very clear that we're not just talking about one distribution like the normal curve, we're really talking about a family of distributions. And for all of the distributions that we're going to be working with, the chi-squared, the t, the f, they all are families of distributions based on their sample size, based on their degrees of freedom. And that's what makes them a little bit more robust than the z distribution. By robust I mean allows them to be a little bit more forgiving with real world data. Because again, there's a lot more weight here on the ends. So we're not expecting them all to be mounted so perfectly around the average. So let's take a couple things, some quick looks about the homework and see how we're going to do this. So this is asking us to find the critical value, the t 0.0025 with 6 degrees of freedom, right? So it gives us degrees of freedom. So if it is 6 degrees of freedom, just know your sample size then is 7. Now, in case your calculator asks you for sample size instead of degrees of freedom. And here's this. And so what you're going to do is inverse t. And then it's going to ask you for the area. You're going to put 0.0025. And then you're going to put comma. And then it's going to ask you for the degrees of freedom. And you're going to put 6. So that's how you're going to do that for there. So this is your alpha over 2. This right here is your alpha. That's what it's looking for there. Remember that this inverse t is found in your distribution button of your TI, just like inverse normal. Also keep in mind that the t-distribution, as you saw in the picture, is always symmetrical regardless of what degrees of freedom you have. And what this particular notation is looking for is they want the positive value. So even though they tell this 0.025 here or 0.0025, that obviously is going to give you a negative value. There's another value up here, this alpha over 2, that also has 0.0025 in this tail, and they're looking for this positive value right here. So your answer is not going to be negative. You should use the positive. They're symmetric. So if you put 0.0025 in, then you'll get the correct answer there. Okay. The notation that they're using, it's odd, but the notation that they want to use for this 0.0025 is they're actually asking for it's odd for them to do this, but for the right tail. So on the next question, when we're at t 0.995, they're again asking for that right tail. So 99.5% to the right tail shaded right there. And so that is going to be a negative number on the next question, if you end up getting a similar next question as I did. Also keep in mind that you can use the inverse t function on Excel as well if you don't have a TI calculator. Please try to avoid using tables. They're just not very accurate, and you won't always have one with you. So, of course, you could use a table, but it's just not very handy. Just taking a quick glance at the next couple problems. The mass of a mouse commonly found as a mean of this, with the standard deviation of that. This one, okay, the probability. Okay, so this is, we are just assuming that these are going to be normal distributions that you have here. And if you can't remember how to do that, each of these has videos that you might want to just go ahead and click and take a quick look-see and see how that works out for you. On these next two, just a quick reminder that this notation, if x is just your normal, it's going to have the mean first and then the standard deviation second. So this n just implies a normal. All right, if ever you see that something is distributed, like if it was t, it would say t, and then it would tell you how many degrees of freedom typically down here, like it would tell you t, with 6 degrees of freedom kind of thing. So if it's f, it would say, if it was an f distribution, it would be like distributed f, and that would give you both degrees of freedom. If it was chi-squared, it would be like, oh, q is distributive with a chi-squared, and how many degrees of freedom, and so on and so on. So that's kind of what that notation means. Most of the videos, or most of the questions have videos, so go ahead and click on those and make sure that you have an idea of what's going on. Do know that there's not an inverse chi-squared built into the TI. You can program it yourself. It's not too hard. There's a link. I'll put a link on the week 1 page if you want to take a look at that. Otherwise, the links tell you how to do it in Excel. They tell you how to do it in the TI using the equation solver. And if you have questions about that, just let me know. Thanks. Take care.